How many of us are guilty of having thrown away tomatoes? I certainly am in one point or another. You get to buy tomatoes and you find that it is a pile of rot. And believe it, what you are holding there in front of you is a product, Murugi's, by Murugi Foods. It is actually tomatoes, only that it is advanced with herbs and has a shelf life of 1 year. So in 2019, I was going to the market to buy tomatoes in bulk because I was making homemade sauce when the prices of tomatoes were cheaper. And then I realized that the price of tomatoes was from 3 shillings to 25 shillings. That was really shocking to me. So that fluctuation of price, but it did not actually stop there. What stopped me on my tracks was observing the lorry. This lorry, I actually took a picture of it. It had a truckload of rotten tomatoes. So it did not make sense to me that I am supposed to buy a tomato at 25 shillings, and yet this lorry has tomatoes close by to the market that is just full of rot. And therefore, I got inspired by this. We were with my partner at the time, and he mentioned, Rachel, you have to commercialize this product that you are making at home. And therefore, it birthed Murugi Foods, which is actually a product that ensures 1 year shelf life. It is a value-added tomato product. It is ready to eat, so you can open, eat, and taste. You can also add it to your foods. And we also, at the time that I was in the market, I asked this lorry owner, where are these tomatoes from? And he actually mentioned they're from Kirinyaga. So I got inspired and actually went to Kirinyaga, where we decided to be working together with farmers. So at the moment, we have been training some smallholder farmers on agro practices that are helping deal with the post-harvest losses, not only in terms of the farm, but also the handling. And then we have been able to, through the product, it ensures a consistent supply of the tomatoes because you don't have to go through the fluctuating market of tomatoes, whereas it is also offering the convenience of that tomatoes. So our value proposition actually to the consumer, there's a value to the consumer and also to the smallholder farmer. To the consumer, that is a product that is used, that is preserved using canning and with the chemicals added as zero. It is convenient, as I said, it is ready to use. To the smallholder farmer, we are ensuring that the smallholder farmers get consistent income because they would otherwise lose 30% of the tomatoes that they are actually growing. You are selling your tomatoes in the farm at a throwaway price, only that because the product is perishable, it cannot stay long enough in the market. And so there is that gap there. We are also, to the smallholder farmer, the proposition here is that we are maintaining and increasing the capacity of the farmer. Most of the farmers in Kirinyaga have around a quarter acre, and therefore they are producing around 250 kilos. But it keeps on fluctuating because the agro practices are pretty low. We are also we are offering a value of diversifying the income of these farmers because not only through the tomatoes, but we also add other ingredients. We use other ingredients like garlic, onions, and other herbs that a farmer can, we have seen that other farmers are choosing, maybe I'm not only going to grow the tomatoes, I can also get some extra income from something else. What is our market size? So our market is 2. We are hoping to get into the export market. At the moment, we have been able to sell locally, and the local market is slow and budding. The market that we are targeting in terms of the export market in the UK, it is 5 billion out of the 67 UK population. And here in Kenya, we have a target of 7.5 in the Nairobi middle class. Because Nairobi, if you're selling convenience, I'm looking at somebody who does not want to take so much time to cook, who wants to cut their cooking time by 50%. Somebody who just wants, they can buy that, who cannot probably access fresh tomatoes, they don't want to go to the market, etc. Therefore our products are targeting the home cooks, they are targeting high-end grocery stores, and that is therefore B2C, B2B. The local market, as I had said, is valuing closely. We have not penetrated the export market yet, but that is our desire. And of course, we are going to dealing with 10 farmers to actually 1,500 farmers through engaging with them better. This chart is actually to show you the import that the United Kingdom and other countries of tomatoes, canned tomatoes, and it is actually to defend more why the export market is highly more better and preferable. Our competition is the non-organic tomato sources and the fresh tomatoes in the market being bought by brokers. So our competitive advantage here is that we shall use more whole tomato produce in comparison to these other preservative-based tomato products. And so we are able to buy more tomatoes in comparison to these others because they use more of the flavors and concentrates instead of actually the tomato in itself. And of course, we will ensure the prolonged shelf life. So when you go back to that lorry, you cannot go with that lorry home and stay with the tomatoes for a week. But you can go with that lorry home just that has cartons of Murugis, and you say that you actually have fresh tomatoes. Our business model is actually just direct to consumers. We sell, currently that is a jar 350 shillings, and the cost is at 100 shillings. We would love to reduce it by far through bulk production. And our scalability plan is through increasing our processing, when we're able to lease through Kirdi and, get better at that. But not only that, actually, but we will be able to increase our capacity currently from where we are to 5,000 jars per month, and this 5,000 jars per month actually will translate to us purchasing, this is the starting point that we chose to grow at, we are purchasing the 3 tons of tomatoes from these smallholder farmers. So in this 3 months, I mentioned that we are working with 3 farmers, with 10 farmers. They can grow to now 30 farmers. We can be able to be paying them a consistent income of 7,500 per month of their 100 kilos, because the idea is through the agronomical practices we are helping them through, they are also going to be able to go ahead and rebuy their whole produce. So they are actually saving on what they could have thereby lost. And of course, the farmers, we can diversify and grow other complementary ingredients. This is our team. I am the recipe developer, I'm the CEO, and I did project planning and management. We also have a marketing manager, Jeff Dindi, and Celesio, who's a chief agronomist. My ask is to penetrate the export market especially, and also scale more in the local market, which is budding. It's 5 million shillings. This is to scale the production to 5,000 pieces per month for the next 3 months at least, with an ROI of 4 months, and especially to impact the smallholder farmers, at least 1,500 consistently as they produce these tomatoes and they are actually put to use. And how we also, this 5 million can be translated or rather divided, is the same concept of if we would get 2 million, 3 million, and we would hope to give a bigger chunk to marketing, 40%. We would also give production 30%. We would give logistics 20%, and just other license and export etc. overheads at 10%. Thank you so much, and I hope you can try the product and give us feedback.
Thank you. Maybe quick comments from the judges? Question, clarification?
Thank you for that great presentation. Now, the question I have is on, so first of all, great, I can see you have chems and you have barcodes. So are you selling locally in supermarkets?
Yeah, we are finalizing on Greenspoon online. We were doing mostly online, and now we're on a chain of starting to stock with Greenspoon, which is the online market space. Yes.
So great. I think with chems and the barcodes you can access the supermarkets.
Yeah. It was a bit challenging for the supermarkets in the sense of we weren't ready to fully get in, their credit, and it was going to drag a little bit.
Yeah, 30-day payment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of
Yes.
volume.
Mm-hmm.
So the other question I have is, how are you addressing the issue of residues, pesticide residue in tomatoes? So you know tomatoes is one of the most sprayed crops
Yes.
in Kenya.
Yes.
And especially if you're looking at the export market, they will ask you to do the minimum residue
Yes.
test. How are you addressing that issue?
Okay, so for the last 1 year, our agronomist, Mr. Salesio, has been working with the smallholder farmers, and we had started with 10 farmers in Kirinyaga, just to basically, we started by assessing how are they growing their tomatoes, and then also advising them what is the tomato that the one that we use the Kalje one, and advising them that what they can use. And also he was able to go through an analysis of what have they used before and advise them on what practices can they use to actually cut down, because we are very sensitive actually and understand for the export market, as we have said, the standards are really high in the sense of putting that product to export. So moving our agronomists, it's not about just coming up with a nutritional product from a recipe perspective, but from the farmer, to ensure that their practices are actually looked at consistently. So our agronomist actually does visits to the farms on a monthly basis, the farmers that we are working with, to cross-check, to do the trainings, and this has purely been on us as a brand.
Okay, thank you. So, how unique is your product, and maybe about the cost? What's the cost of production of one unit or what like this one, and what are your profit margins?
Okay. So how unique my product is in comparison to probably something that you may see that looks similar in the market is that mine is herbed, and also, so I have a few varieties, but this particular one is herbed. The shelf life is also a very good thing that gives me a great competitive edge that is different from different sources that you're going to find in the market. And also there are no preservatives that are added. I think you can, if you're able, you can read the ingredients that are at the bottom. So that gives us a unique concept. The production of one jar is 100 shillings. We would hopefully, with scaling, we would hopefully want to actually advance it, because our biggest cost is the jar, which should actually go down greatly if we are able to scale. And so I sell it at 350. So with the cost of 100, 250 shillings is my profit.
Okay, thank you, Murugi. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.